Did you know that your brain operates at only 5% of its potential, and that if you can unlock 100%, you could become a demigod? This was a popular myth at one time, but what if I told you that is not a myth at all, and that is entirely possible for anyone to reach a state of super productivity with their brain? The average person wastes 90% of their resources on easily accessible distractions like social media, TV shows and games. Only 10% remains, and even those minimal remnants are used ineffectively. Today I will show you how to unlock 100% of your brain's potential and achieve a completely new state of consciousness and existence. Just a month of following the recommendations in this video will leave you amazed at the progress that once seemed achievable only for gifted people and chosen geniuses. This is the level at which the vast majority of people live. It's an endless dopamine trap and cycle of consumption. Such a person is an ideal consumer of goods and services for any corporation. They may spend days in search of simple pleasures, declining and existing in a state of complete unawareness. If they occasionally come out of this state, it's only for a short time, and these moments are often like Buddha's enlightenment, but last only until the first stress, whose pain must be immediately dulled by consuming a new portion of content. These are people who watch videos on how to make $1 million in a week and how to get abs in 5 minutes at home. They don't want to work long term, all they want are template desires ingrained in their subconscious by the system. Such people are safe for the system, predictable, they follow the crowd and they are easy to manage. Clearly, to increase brain efficiency by 100%, it needs to be trained just like muscles in the gym. In our case, thinking will be our training, but to think effectively, we need to create the right conditions. The first step to enhance your brain is to create a space for thinking, which is something most modern people lack. You only need to free up some time and learn to do nothing during that time. Yes, these are the same boredom videos that number in the hundreds in YouTube, but surprisingly, this advice works in practice. Allocate between 30 minutes to an hour a day for a simple walk, preferably in a quiet place without people or any distractions. Don't force yourself to think about anything specific, just let your brain do what it wants. Don't listen to music or use your phone, just walk. Boredom itself is a precursor to creativity and interesting ideas. The thing is, boredom is an uncomfortable feeling, and when we experience it, we start trying to fill the emptiness. When a smartphone or other sources of information aren't at hand, a person turns inward, beginning to question basic issues. Most often, what comes to mind is either what is currently troubling us the most or fundamental human questions. What is my place in this world? Do I enjoy life? What is the purpose of all this? And so on. In any case, at this moment, instead of living a fictional life and social media problems, we start to live our real life. This may seem strange, but this is exactly what our ancestors did most of the time. They didn't have an endless flow of information going into their brain. They had to spend a lot of free time alone with their thoughts in silence. What will this give to us? First, you will do something unfamiliar, opening up a possibility for change. Second, your brain will get its first rest in a long time. Many people don't realize this, but endless scrolling and watching short videos is not a rest at all. It's a significant pressure on your brain. In moments of silence, your thoughts stop floating in an endless stream of routine triggers, and the person finally turns inward to their true thoughts. Only by freeing up space can we move on to the second step. Research indicates a significant increase in thinking efficiency when instead of solving a problem in our mind, we begin to speak it out loud. Verbalizing your thoughts out loud greatly enhances cognitive effectiveness. This simple technique forces our brain to concentrate on the subject of thought, preventing it from drifting into an endless stream of thought images. Start with the basics. Simply speak your current problems out loud and think about how you plan to solve them. How do you plan to spend the day? How can you improve your results in your activities? You can talk about anything. Over time, you will easily discuss the most complex topics that most people around you wouldn't even dare to think about. Combine the first two steps, solitary works and verbal reflections, and you will get a strong combination for brain development. However, this is just the beginning, and following tips will help you to rise above the vast majority of people. Writing down your thoughts, goals and plans on paper can be surprisingly rare, but highly beneficial. Handwriting activates specific brain areas linked to memory and learning, helping you process and retain information more effectively. Studies show that this practice enhances both memory and awareness of your goal's importance. Additionally, writing on paper aids in planning and organizing time, boosts creativity and improves problem-solving skills. By documenting your ideas, you free up mental space, allowing for deeper analysis and the exploration of unconventional solutions. Here are some tips for effective note-taking. Use paper notebooks. Handwriting has a greater impact compared to digital notes. Regularly review notes. This helps reinforce information and track progress. Be specific. Clearly formulate goals and plans to have a clear understanding of what you want to achieve. Use visualization. Add drawings, diagrams, and charts for better perception and memory of information. Keep your main thoughts and goals in view. Various productivity apps, to-do lists, and habit trackers are undoubtedly useful, but it's better to have your main goals and thoughts always in front of your eyes. Modern attention is easily distracted. We are conditioned from childhood to react to certain triggers that capture our attention for monetization purposes. That's why a whole new field was invented to manipulate people: marketing. Studies show that visual reminders help maintain focus on long-term goals despite daily distractions. People who use reminders such as notes at their workspace are more likely to achieve their goals than those who rely solely on digital tools. So even if you get stuck on social media one day and all your goals slip from your mind, it's important to have something to remind you of them. The best way to do this is a simple piece of paper placed in a visible spot where you will definitely see it every day, such as near your workspace. You can write anything on this paper. The only thing that matters is that it reminds you of where you go and why. This could be a list of your goals or a collection of motivating quotes, or a vision board. Visualizing goals will help your brain to solidify them in your subconscious. This means that your brain will keep working on them even when you sleep. Keep your goals inside and you will see how this simple action can significantly boost your productivity and motivation in achieving your desired results. Balancing work and rest may seem like a cliche, but for some reason most people don't know how to do it properly, especially in the modern world where a lot of people work remotely. Failure to separate these states leads to decreased productivity and ineffective rest. Here are a few recommendations for solving this issue. Define a workspace. Work at a separate desk used only for work. Studies show that creating a clear boundaries between work and personal space improves concentration and productivity. Avoid distractions. Don't entertain yourself for rest while working. Your brain should understand that during work hours and in this place you are only working. This helps you get into the right state and minimize procrastination. Similarly with rest, the worst thing you can do is stay at your work desk playing games after work. This is arguably the best way to kill your productivity. Create a separate space for relaxation. If possible, rest in another room. If space is limited, use your bed or go outside to change the environment. This helps brain switch between work and rest modes. Ideally, you should use this tool to create such triggers for your brain yourself. For example, in your workspace, use specific lighting, hang motivating quotes, and perhaps even diffuse certain scents. This way you can condition your brain, and as soon as it sees familiar triggers, it will immediately enter the desired state. All the mentioned tips work well in combination. Each subsequent one becomes easier to implement when you master the previous one. So don't rush and try to adopt everything at once. Start with the basics, master one skill and then go to the following one. Try these tips in practice and then share your results in the comments. And remember, where there's a will, there's a way.